Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I am going to cover loopings in Java. So basically first question is what is the looping concept, why we use it. Okay, so particular set of code executes multiple times, so that is the way we can use by using loops. Okay, for example I have one like print statement like this system.out.print. Okay, and this hello word I want to show 5 times, so without using loops I have to write down this 5 times like this. Okay, so instead of doing this, what I have one internal concept called loop. So by using that loop concept I can iterate this particular statement, I can repeat this particular statement as specified number of time. Okay, I will specify particular range for that loop, and that much time that loop will iterate. Okay, and that loop will execute that particular statements which we will write down inside that loop. So let's get start with the example. Okay, so there are multiple loops like entry level loop and exit level loop. Okay, so what is entry level loop? Entry level loop means those loop where we will check the condition before the loop starts. Okay, at the top of the loop we will check particular condition. If that condition will be true, that loop will iterate. If that condition will be false, that loop termination will be processed. Okay, so that types of loops are entry, and those loops which exit means those loop will be terminated, that condition will be at the end of that loop. Okay, means first that loop will be executed. Okay, then we will check condition. If condition true, then again it will iterate that loop. Okay, if that condition is false, then loop execution will be terminated. So those types of loop called as exit control. So let's see with that example. Okay, so I am going to create one class for this. Okay, name will be the looping. Okay, and finish. So here, okay, so here I want to, as I said, I want to print out one thing here like this. Like I have hello, I want to print this hello 5 times. So without using loops I have to write down this particular statement 5 times. Okay, but instead of doing this I have loop. Okay, for example, what is first loop? We have while loop. Okay, so syntax of while loop is like this: while bracket it has, instead of bracket we have to give particular condition. For example, I have like counter should be less than or equals to, okay, counter should be less than, or we can have 5. Okay, and I have to create counter variable here, counter variable which is of integer type equals to 0. I will assign it. Okay, so what it will happen, it will start from 0, it will go till the 5 minus 1. Okay, this should be less than 5. Okay, counter should be less than 5 means 4. Okay, so this is why this loop will be iterated. This statement will be inside of this loop. Okay, hello will be printed 5 times, but counter has initialized with 0. It will check till the 5, but where it will be incremented, it should be incremented is its value should be incremented. Okay, it should be go with 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, it should be happen. So that thing we will do here inside of the loop, counter plus plus, this symbol we can use. Okay, this way we can write down the loop. Okay, let's see the output. What it's print. Okay, it has printed 5 times hello, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so 5 times it has printed. Instead of writing the particular statement 5 times, we can just iterate that loop 5 times, and the amount of code will be executed 5 times. Okay, which inside of the loop we have written code that code will be executed 5 times. Okay, this is an example of while loop. Okay, multiple conditions also we can apply. We can have an operator here, as I discussed in previous video, that is about the branching concepts. So in that video I have told about all the operators and those types of checks I have discussed in that video. You can check in that. Okay, so another condition I want to apply here, counter should be either greater than 0. Okay, so if I will initialize with zeros, this condition will be false and loop will get terminated at the start, means not at single time it will be executed. Okay, so it's terminated, not at single time this loop is executed. So in order to execute this, I have to do like this. It will goes from 1 to 4. So by that way it will print 4 times hello. Okay, it has printed 4 times hello. Okay, 1 to 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that's the way it has iterated and printed that. So this is the way we can apply multiple conditions, like or also we can use over here. So as per the scenario we can use the operators. Okay, so while loop here, and next loop is a for loop. For loop we have the syntax of for loop like this. We have to specify the variable which we will consider as an iterator. Okay, I am taking here anything we can give, a c, anything, but I'm taking I here. So initialize with any value, but we have to initialize it here. Okay, so from that particular point, from that particular value, it will get start the execution or iteration. Okay, for example, I will give 7. So from 7 it will start. Otherwise 7 to 0 or 7 to onwards it will be executed as per the condition which will I will provide over here. What I will give, like I should be less than 15. So what it will be, what it means, so I will start from 7 to 15 it will be 7 to 14 it will be executed. Okay, so anything condition as per our scenario we can give. So here basically I will give the 0 and here I will give 10. So that 0 to 9 it will be executed. Okay, and I have to increment the I, or for example I will start from 10, or till the should be greater than 0. Okay, 10 to 0 it will goes. Okay, sorry, 10 to 1 it will goes. Okay, 1 will be greater than 0 and 0 will not be greater than 0. So in that case it will execute till the 1. Okay, 10 to 1, and in that scenario it will be minus minus. Okay, 10 to 9, 9 to 8, 8 to, so this way it will goes. Okay, so this is also one more example, and the body of that for loop. Okay, this is the way we have to write down the for loop. This is the proper syntax of for loop. Okay, so similarly I will do for loop. I will do here. Okay, this is the for loop. Okay, and let's see the example of this loop here. Okay, so for loop has iterated the 10 times. Okay, so this is where it has its for loop syntax. Okay, so what is the next loop? It's a for each loop. For this loop, for each loop we have any array concepts. Okay, if anybody don't know the array, so let's I'm explaining. Okay, and in brief about array I will discuss in earlier video, next video. Okay, so int arr, for example, this is the syntax of array. Okay, and I can assign value to this array like this. Consider 10, 21, 34, 52, like this values I have. So suppose I want to print those value, so I have for each loop over here. Okay, at a time one single value should be come to me, and those values should be available to print for me. So in that scenario, what I will do, integer num I will do. Okay, and this side array. Okay, single value of array will be come into num, and that num scopes will be inside of the loop. So I will perform the particular operation on that variable of the particular array. Okay, so I will just print this particular number. Okay, so let's see the output. Okay, you can see we got the output properly, we printed the numbers. So this for each loop we can uh, operate with the arrays, list, and collection frameworks. Okay, if you don't know the collection framework, I will cover the video about that collection frameworks, arrays. Okay, I will cover the video. So this basic syntax of array, just consider this, and this is the syntax of for each loop. Okay, this is the for loop and this is the while loop. So those are the entry control loop. Okay, you can see I have checked the condition at the top of the loop. Here also I have checked condition at the top of the loop, and here as well. Here we does not need to check in condition, we just taking one after another the elements. So that's it. So those are the entry control loops. So main code which will consider the condition of that loop, which it will be either executed or not, that condition will be at the top of the loop. So that's why those are entry control loop. Okay, so what about exit control loop? So those loop will check that particular condition like this at the end of that loop. Okay, so let's consider the exit control loop. Okay, which is loop do while. Okay, so how it will be, I will have do and the body of that loop. Okay, here any of the code I will write down. Okay, suppose do while I will write down. Okay, and the condition at the end of the loop it will be. Okay, while I have to write down, and instead of the while I will provide any condition. Okay, so let's get one variable like count equals to, for example, 10. Okay, and we will go the return from 10 to the 0, like this array, sorry, like this loop. Okay, so condition will be count should be greater than 0. Okay, so 10 to 1 it will be iterated. Okay, and here I have to give terminator. Okay, but counter is 10 and it will goes to the 0, so that's why I have to decrement that particular variable, that I will decrement inside of the loop. Okay, minus minus, this way it will be executed. Okay, this is the syntax of exit control loop, which is do while loop. Okay, let's see the output of this loop. Okay, so here we got the do while loop output. So this is the way we taking the example of the all the loops. This is the example of that while loop. This is example of for loop. This is a for each loop, and at the end do while loop you have. So this is the syntax of all the loops. Okay, let me just take it. This is entry control loops. Okay, and here we have exit control loop. Okay, so the benefit of this for loop, we have to initialize variable inside of same the syntax, and we will check condition, and we can have increment decrement at the end. So this way we can write down, and we will separate all the things, initialization, condition, we will separate by the this semicolon, this way. Okay, and for each loop we will basically use with the arrays collections, and while loop we will have, we can have provide multiple conditions. Similarly we can do inside of the this loop as well, for loop as well, and similarly inside of the do while as well we can do and or instead of this loop as well. Okay, this way we can specify multiple conditions. So that's it from this video. I hope you like the video. If you want to learn more things, just like and subscribe my YouTube channel. So thank you so much.